Woo! Okay, guys, we are live. Hello, everybody. What is happening? It's BigJackFilms here. Welcome to another live stream. So, yeah, been a little busy. Got some stuff coming up. It's just gonna be a simple stream. Might bring in some people, maybe not. I don't know. It's one of those chill days. Again, I should get a goddamn light in here. I keep forgetting to put the light on before I start. Turn on that light! So, just give you guys a little updates on a couple of things that's happening on my end this week. How it's been. There we go. So a couple things on my end that has been happening. So good news. My episode for February is done. Episode for February is pretty much in the can. Review portion's done. Storyline segment in the middle is done. I'm on the post-credit scene right now. And while we are filming it and stuff, I got a few things I have to shoot for it. I have to shoot a skit for it. I have to shoot the second half of the post-credit scene. Now, we were supposed to do it this weekend, like my second half of it, but there's been some delays, so we're going to shoot it next weekend. So it's going to be the episode's going to be pretty much delivered at the start of the month rather than the end of this month, so that's okay. We're still ahead of schedule, which is really good. And then I'm also filming new scenes, so a couple scenes for a couple of projects at a convention this weekend. So just so you guys know, this is the last convention of the year, basically. And surprisingly, it's the return of winter conventions. We haven't had a winter convention in like 6 years since COVID. Sorry. Also, I'm still dealing with a cold. I'm still dealing with a cold. And basically, it's almost done now. The con I'm going to this weekend is Anime Revolution. It's at the Metro Toronto Convention Center. And it is from November 21st to the 23rd. Still get tickets. I'm going to be there. Honeybear's going to be there. I got a few people I know who are going to be there. And we're just going to have a fun time. It's the last con of the season, last con of the year, and let's make it count, basically. So that is what's happening on my end. And I am just working on a couple of projects there. About 2 or 3 max. Little minor here and there that I need to get a couple additional pieces. But it's good. Now, what's funny is that over September, we started production on our Jurassic World Rebirth review. Or actually, it's been in production for a little bit, but like just mainly like the main set of shooting started in September. And the plan was to shoot all the outside stuff first because we got that in the can, which is good. But it's all going to be inside. So we're going to shoot a day in November. There were some delays on that. We had eventually actually had to cancel the shoot. So we're going to postpone working on Rebirth until January. Thankfully, the script has got all that planned out. But I'm going to be taking, so it gives me time to focus on things. So now that I've done February's episode, December I'm going to move into the March episode. And that's going to be pretty simple. I'm going to make that pretty simple because for me, the holidays are coming up. I'm going to start working on my Christmas cards soon at some point. So you are getting something Christmas related for the end of the year. And yeah, that's really all that's been happening on my end. And yeah, I'm going to Anime Revolution. This is a new one. It's the first time. I know the Anime Revolution is pretty popular elsewhere. I'm going to Toronto. So we're going to go check it out. And it's going to be a beta test for us. We're only going to go for 1 day on the Saturday. But it's just a good chance for what this con's about and what's happening, how's it function, if we like it, what we see, we might come back next year and do a little bit more. So for now, it is really about just going for shits and giggles and our last shot at shooting stuff. So that's a plus. That's pretty cool. With that said, yeah, this is going to be a very simple talk stream. Maybe bring in some people, maybe not, but I'm going to answer some questions first that are in the chat that are very interesting. A lot of things are happening in the chat. Let's see here. Just gonna skim through. So Osiris asks, is there a chance that opening night's return? Can we get a Renfield review? That actually is not a bad idea. So here's what's interesting. I had done I was gonna do a Patreon request for Bad Guys, which I've never seen. Here's the problem though. I have no streaming service to watch it on. I have tried Netflix. They don't have it. I've tried Amazon. Amazon said they had it, but then they put it under a paywall, which pissed me off. So I had to get my Amazon Prime. That did. So I'm out of options. Unless I get a physical copy, I can't watch it. So I was stuck on where to go with opening nights. I am delayed on Frankenstein. That is one a lot of people want me to watch. Honeymare and I are going to watch it this weekend. So it'll probably start next week on Monday. Hopefully get an opening night for Frankenstein. And then the following week, Osiris, I'll do Renfield. Might as well do like a Dracula Frankenstein double feature because why the hell not? So that'll be a good start. I might even do 2 that week. So just get those at the last week in November. And then December, I might just do all Christmas-themed reviews, opening nights. Because why the hell not, you know? So that's probably going to be my plan on that end. So there we go. Also, guys, don't forget about the rules in the chat. Osiris has put them up there. And super chats are always appreciated as well. It really help the algorithm, which would be amazing. Nice. Good movie. Good movie. Good movie, Dean. Let's see here. Let's scroll down. Bad news, Jack. Someone named the Crazy Critic is harassing RaisorBlade. Oh, is this just Liam in disguise? Do I dance? All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't know much about what's going on there. If anybody can link me to that, I'd be interested in seeing what the hell this guy's saying. Because listen, you don't diss my boys. You don't diss my crew. Because there's a rule on the captain's ship, lad. You mess with the crew, you mess with the captain. And you're messing with my crew. You're messing with the captain. So I'll have to see the circumstances, see what's going on there. I've already got I will say, 2026's episodes are going to be very drama-inspired roasting. I will say that right now. Digging a little deep into some stuff very subtly. And yeah, that's something I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to have to take a look at what the hell's going on with RaisorBlade. And I hope he's okay. Yeah, like a lot of people are just like, what is going on? Liam, what did Henry Mockingbird do? I thought it was cool. He was on the fucking chat here. I know RazorX. I don't know what, like, I heard RazorX got into some more deals. But wow, like, what is going on? That's the one thing I will say. Social media this week has been weird, y'all. It's been weird. Like, everybody's got a beef. Like, what is happening? You know what? Yeah, it is No Nut November. No Nuts November. That's how I put it. I don't put it in the way most people do. I call it No Nuts Remember. Basically meaning, how much tolerance can you have? How much resiliency can you have until you start going batshit insane? Until you start cracking. This is a good beta test for people's mental state. So it's November, as I put it. Don't go crazy. It's like John McGurk. John McGurk. Don't go crazy. That's how I see it. And already people are failing. Everybody right now is fucking nuts. What is going on? But we're doing okay. We're doing okay, Starmaster. Good to see you. Oh, yeah. Fucking, what is it? Chaos Theory series finale's coming out. When's that? Hang on a sec. When the fuck is that? I'm trying to remember. Like, somebody in the chat just said, tomorrow. Oh, fuck. Is it tomorrow? Well, I'm binging shit tomorrow as I edit. I can tell you that. I am binging that tomorrow as I write. In fact, I actually might do that. I'm going to binge it tomorrow. See how it goes. And then maybe there'll be a Christmas present early. Opening night the following week. You'll get my review. It'll be a couple weeks late, but you know what? Good place to go. I'm going to have to check it out tomorrow. I'm actually really excited for that. I want to see where the series goes, how it ends. Thank you for that reminder. I've been wondering when the hell it's going to be coming out. Hi, Lorenzo. Good to see you. Sorry, again, I'm late in the chat. Holy shit. Let's see here. Let me see here. Let's go up here for a sec. I'd rather watch Cowboy Bebop. I prefer Accurate Raptors over GP Raptors. It's been a while since one of these streams. Finally made it back. Good to see you, Luke. Welcome back. Last stream, I found out that Cog 76 is going to be 50 years old. Yeah, so I had just watched the movie again with a couple people on Discord. Had a really good time with it. Still fantastic. It's funny, it was the first time I watched the 4K release all the way through. I had never fully watched the 4K release, even though I have it. And we watched it. I was shocked how good the quality is. Like, they really made that movie look nice in 4K. It looks beautiful. Like, I love the Shout Factory Blu-ray I love that thing to death, but this was a step up. I have only one criticism about the 4K release. They changed. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't like them tweaking things like that. In the 4K release, this is something I've noticed. If you go watch it, check it out. When Kong is with Jessica Lange in the World Trade Center, he's not climbed it yet. He's he's kind of looking like really scared and shit. And he lets out that roar. Well, in the original theatrical cuts, which I've seen many a times, he makes panther growls, like these wow, wow, right? He does that. I know I'm doing a terrible interpretation, but he makes sort of these panther growls. They're actually sounds. They use the sounds of a panther in there. For some reason, the 4K release changed that. They took their growls and replaced it with some of, like, other Peter Cullen growls that were in before. I don't know how I feel about that. I understand consistency. I do like even like they did take that one frame out where he falls off the towers and you don't see him, that he just jump cuts into the shot. I'll give him credit for that. That's a fix. That's an okay fix. But changing the audio, about 4K releases, they've been doing it so much. I'm so goddamn tired of it. Stop changing the audio. You did that with the Terminator. Even before Blu-ray, you changed it to a DTS sound system, and you've replaced all the gun sounds, which I hate. Batman 89 did that. That's why I will not get the 4K Blu-ray, because it's not only trying to be color corrected to be like the Dark Knight trilogy, but they messed up the audio. Stop messing it up. Like when I saw the movie at TIFF on a big screen with a crowd of people outside, it was the standard Blu-ray version with the classic sound effects. It sounded better. The Blu-ray made it more updated popping gun sounds. I don't like that. Now we have Kong doing this. They're taking the audio, some of the audio, and changing it. I understand the consistency, but keep it intact in your restoration. Don't try to change that while you're in the middle of restorations. At that point, you're George Lucasing your movie. It's why with even Jaws, as much as I love the current restorations, it's still the DTS sound version. And the DTS takes away all the original audio that won the Oscar, were nominated. And I don't like that. I like the original stereo mix or the mono mix that you can find on the Laserdisc and the VHS tapes. That's better. I like that one more. I do not like these new versions where they see, if they're not special editioning the visuals, they're special editioning the sound. I understand you want to give people a new sound experience with the movie, but at the same time, you're also erasing the original audio, and I don't like that either. So, little thing on that. Like, I understand. I watched the 4K release. I loved it, everything about it, except that little tweak. That little tweak I could not stand. That was distracting. So, there you go on that. It's been a while since I've been... Yep, awesome. Glad you could come on, man. Which is the worst Dragon Ball Evolution or Last Airbender? You know what's weird? I have a love-hate relationship with Evolution. I can be admired by it. I can be entertained by it. I can find it amusing. Last Airbender's just boring. Like, that movie's just, I can't do it. It actually kind of turned me away from watching the show. When I watched the movie, I'm like, if this is the show, it's too boring. I don't know, I've never watched Last Airbender. Your skills are doing good, man. You're doing really good. Well done. Let's see here. Yeah, now that I think about it, COG 76 and your COG remake are both going to have big... Yeah, we're going to have big anniversaries next year. And I got to figure out what the hell I'm going to be doing that. You know what's funny, Eric? I have a confession to make. I have never seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Ever. Never seen those movies. Actually, you know what? There's 2 Christmas movies I've never seen, and I'm finally going to break the mold and watch them this year for opening nights. And you'll see what they are. I have not! Toon King! I can't find a copy. That one. No, but I can't find it on, like, a streaming service. I can't find a physical copy. I missed out in theaters. I'm so cheesed. I have to get, like, a physical copy of it or a digital copy or something. I want to watch it. It's not that I don't want to. I actually want to watch it. I want to see it. Like, I need to see this movie. I have heard nothing but great things about it. Please let me see this movie. Oh my god. Which anime sword model would you love to own? I would love to own a steel replica of Tetsaiga. I used to have Tokijin, but I had to give it to a friend for his cosplay. But I want Tetsaiga. That's the one I want the most, is Tetsaiga. Or Tenseiga. I like Tenseiga. That's a good one. Toy Story had its premiere at the El Capitan Theater in 1995. Nice. What media will you never review and why? Well, definitely anything not safe for work I will not touch. I made the exception with the Kong you-know-whats for my Valentine's Day special, but that's it. I will make jabs, but I will never fully review content like that. And I will definitely review content that I don't feel comfortable with. Okay, prime example. View of Threads from 1984 on opening night is one of my most popular opening night videos. But that movie disturbed me. That movie made me incredibly depressed. In fact, that movie gave me nuclear anxiety. Something I thought I would never have, and I still have. I just got over it maybe a year or two ago watching Manatee for the first time. That eased my tension. That eased me. That cured me of anxiety, because before that, I was a mess. I was having anxiety. That really freaked me out as a 33-year-old adult. That freaked me the hell out. So watching that, I was like, you know what? This is better. This eases my tensions a little bit. So thank you. Joe Dante directed that, right? That's one of his best movies. In my opinion, one of his best movies. But topics like that, I will not cover. I will not review. Not a fan of it. Too disturbing. Too uncomfortable. Nothing's happy about it. And it's not even science fiction. It's based on reality. So stuff like that, I won't cover. Speaking of about Fantastic Four, I have not watched any of the new MCU stuff. I'm kind of Marvel fatigued, to be honest. I don't really, unless it's Spider-Man, I don't give a shit. I will not watch anything. If it has Spider-Man in it and like Toby and shit, then I'll pay attention. But when it comes to Marvel, I'm kind of tapped out. Which characters are you and Nikita going as for the con? So I'm gonna keep mine pretty secret, because there's a reason why I'm keeping it NDA and keeping it very quiet, because it's a surprise when I get there. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. I have my plans. I'm working on it right now. Honeybear's gonna be doing, I think, Vanessa from The Little Mermaid, which is really cool. I like that idea. So yeah, that's gonna be our cosplays. But when it comes to what I'm doing, I'm keeping it pretty discreet. Just Jurassic World Chaos Theory. The series finale. Do you wish they made a novel based on 76 remake? They kind of did, actually. There is a novelization-ish, but it's a adaptation of the screenplay, which I have. I have that book. I've read it. It's pretty close to the original source material. There are a couple of changed lines. Prime example, something I found out. When Charles Grodin, when they're interrogating Jack Prescott in the briefing room, it's for the last time, who the hell are you? I am Jack Prescott. What I found out is the line at the end that Charles Grodin says, where he's like, the captain's like, he's right. I picked up some shots from Sarabaya. So what? He'd guess that. Take this lousy spy below deck before he's hungry enough to stop spouting ape shit. Leave the sandwich here. So that was the last bit of it, where Charles Grodin says, till he's hungry enough to stop spouting ape shit. Leave the sandwich here. That was improv from Grodin. Now, Grodin was a comedian. He was a really good comedian. He really knew how to make people laugh. That was him improvising the line, and it actually worked out for the better, because in the original line's pretty dull in the script. But and I like that change. There were some little changes I didn't know were in the original script. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. I've heard some of the music's pretty good. I like what the music's doing there, but I'm kind of marveled out. I'm tapped out of Marvel. I'm pretty Marvel fatigued. Went to a nice candy shop. Nice! Is it sensory bean flavored? Or is it heat tap? Give me either or. Actually, low key, I don't know how anybody could send me food products that don't get damaged during shipping for food corners, but that would be cool. Like drinks and stuff like that. But once again, guys, definitely if there's movies you want me to review that I can't find on streaming, i.e. bad guys and stuff, please do not hesitate to send them to me via mail, and I will watch the physical copy of it. That does help. That definitely does work, and you know, stuff like that and donations, everything really does go a long way. Holy crap, we're missing a lot of messages. I made a drawing of Jack Black with a T-Rex body. Oh god, it's a giant chicken jockey. Oh, I will. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Well, I mean, it is kind of. It takes place during. Well, Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. You know what? I saw Jaws. You can see my review of it, Goji, but I missed Back to the Future. Do you want to know why? Barely any screenings of it here in Canada. What the hell, Universal? You were pitching it. You were promoting it in Cineplex. Where's my release? There was nothing. By the time Bear and I were going to go, there was nothing. And that was such... wanting to see that in theaters. Man. We have plans. We have plans. I'm trying to figure out when I want to do those plans, but we have plans. Yeah, that's why I'll go see the next Avengers. Put Toby in and I'm in. I'm down. Never be jealous of Jack. Yeah, oh my god! I won't get into too much detail, but we were like having a ball like on my chats last night talking about stuff. Sean missed it. And we were howling because we're like, this is right up his alley, and he's not even here for it. I'm thinking to Sean, where the hell are you? Get your ass in the chat. Which is hilarious. So, oh, that's fantastic. Which DreamWorks character would you like to see get a spinoff? Well, Puss in Boots. We got like 3 movies. Or 2 movies. Right? Pretty damn good, honestly. No, Jaws was in Canada. I did see Jaws in the big screen, but I did not see Back to the Future, which is such a disappointment to me. Yeah, that sucks. That is crap. You know what's weird? Here's the thing. I don't know how well the live action How to Train Your Dragon did, if it did well, if they are going to do another one. But if they do more live action remakes, there's some movies I'm like, if you touch that, I'm going to have problems. I know a lot of people are petitioning The Prince of Egypt, which, okay, fine, accept. That's already been a musical. But if you touch Road to El Dorado, if you fuck that up, if you even think about remaking it, I'm going to be watching you like a hawk, DreamWorks. I will watch you like a hawk. If you mess that up, we're going to have problems. Major problems. You're going to piss off a whole community if you fuck that up. If you even dare to touch it. My advice, leave it as it is. It's fine as it is. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to remake it. Leave it alone. It's why I love, like, listen, Back to the Future, I will argue, is the greatest trilogy of all time, because they never tried to reboot it. They have never tried, even though they've been begging and attempting and testing. Bob Gale and Zemeckis have constantly said, no, no, no. And they will go to that to their grave. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised that in their will, in the estate, that they legally cannot touch it. I have mad respect for them because we've seen the rise of Hollywood tropes. Can you imagine with what we know now with Hollywood, how much they would have fucked that up? How much they would have messed that up? And the thing is, you know, the people who made it, they take pride in knowing they would have messed it up. You know, if I were to talk to them right now and said, you would have messed it up, and they would be like, yeah, I take pride in messing it up. They would have done it. They would have done it. So I don't trust you, Hollywood. I don't trust you no more. No more. No. Hell no. But if they mess up El Dorado, oh, we're in trouble. We're screwed. We are cooked, as the kids say nowadays. I am too. I am so upset. We're not getting that. I'm also, you know what? Okay, Disney. Anybody left at Disney who is, like, competent at Disney? You want to get audiences back in seats with a re-release? You want to jump on this trend? You want to get some balls? Re-release Hunchback for its 30th anniversary. Re-release it. If you do that, Disney, I'll bring friends. We'll get popcorn. We'll pay the whole price. You put that in 40X, I'll go see it. I need that in theaters. I need that movie back in theaters stat. No remake. Original first. Make people appreciate it. And don't censor it. Don't cut half of it because you're uncomfortable. Release it as it was in 1996, as it was. Please. I do want to see the Grinch release, though. That looks fun. That looks fun. You had one job. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe Jackson doesn't want it. I'm surprised. Like, you'll do Lord of the Rings, but nothing for Kong. What's going on here, Jackson? Is it a liability? I don't know why. You know what? Yeah, okay, that's fine. They can do that. Why do people want Back to the Future 4? People just, no, they're just people who want to basically violate every single franchise known to mankind. And, you know, we all talked about, like, in the past, oh, this company ruined my childhood. No, these motherfuckers are ruining your childhood. They are legitimately taking your childhood and violating it. And we got to start saying, no, you don't get to do that. If I'm going to want a remake, I want competent people. I will give credit. I want to just bring this up. I am so down for the Zelda movie. I am so down for what they're doing. I am shocked and surprised that it's actually happening. I have this rule. I don't believe a movie's happening until the cameras roll. Seeing the cameras roll on Zelda, I'm not only, like, shocked, I'm surprised, and I am very happy. The casting decision for Zelda and Link, I love it. They're unknowns. They're unknown actors. This is going to be their big break, and hopefully it does well. I am really excited for Zelda. I will say this, with the new actors, you're getting unknowns, so there's not going to be much star power. The only way you're going to get more is if you cast the other characters, namely the side characters and namely the villain. You better be finding a damn good known actor to play Ganon. You got to make sure you don't fuck Ganon up. You got to get a really good actor. Like, okay, if he was in good health, Tim Curry, hands down as Ganon, would have been amazing if he was in good health. I would say Benedict Cumberbatch would be a great Ganon. I would say Hugo Weaving would be a great Ganon. I would say even Tom Hiddleston would be a great Ganon. You know, like you gotta find somebody who can play a villain really good. I would even say get Christoph Waltz as Ganon, but I don't know, like, just get somebody competent for that role. Tim Roth! What is that guy doing nowadays? He was like the Basil Rathbone of the 90s. Get him to play Ganon! They need to get a star power for Ganon. They can't get an unknown for that. They have to get some star power to promote this movie. But I'm glad that the two main leads are unknowns. It's not just Tom Holland and Zayda again. It's actually new people. And not only are they new people, they are respecting the source material. They're not changing it based on modern stuff. It's going to be pretty respectful. I am fucking down for Zelda. Let's go. Listen, and I know it's going to be a mosh pot of all the games for this first adaptation. They're probably going to do a lot of the original game. They're going to do a little bit of Wind Waker. They're going to do a little bit of, I think they're going to do a lot of Breath of the Wild. They're going to do a lot of the current games, which, again, I'm okay with. I'm okay with them changing that a little bit. I would say if you do a sequel, that's when you can do things like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. In fact, there's your two sequels. You don't, call the first one The Legend of Zelda, and that's fine. That's all you need. Make it a simple story, but if you are to do sequels, 2 and 3, make them 2 movies back-to-back like the Pirates movies, and make it The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. There's your Zelda trilogy. You don't need to do anything else. If you want to do another one, you can. But I would say in terms of franchising it, there you go. Yeah, you know what? Benedict Cumberbatch would be a good Ganon. He was great as Smaug. He was great as Sauron. Get him to be Ganon. I'd be down for that, actually. I actually wonder what you guys would think. Well, who would you want to see play Ganon in a Zelda movie? I am very curious. Let's see here. I'm just catching up with comments. Holy shit, we went on for a while. Let's see here. We already talked about that. My Dear DreamWorks spinoff. Let's see. The trend was doing well. Yeah, re-releases were doing great. You gonna review any anime? So we have a few actually. The first 2 episodes, I can give that away a little bit. The episodes of 2026 are animated, are actually animated movies. We are gonna be doing a few this year. I'm gonna put Hunchback on there because it's been a while since I've done anything from Disney. The thing about even Toy Story for Toy Story 5 coming out. Let's see what happens. Emperor's New Groove. Yeah, I heard that. I'm surprised they're not doing a theatrical release. I guess again, it's another movie that didn't do so well. I have not fully seen that. I want to. I just haven't had time. I like the remake though. The remake was solid. Doing something lower budget, more or less same vein as Ultra Q. That'd be cool, actually. Would you slide down to Brontosaurus like Fred? Yeah, I would. I would. But I'm not gonna be like Fred Flintstone on EXE going, "We love Fortnite." You know, I've met that guy. Yeah, kid. He's a little shit. That's all I'll say. He is a little shit. I'm glad he's over. I'm glad he's not doing shit anymore. I'm glad he's gone. So rights currently with that. We'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to be Disney. I don't know what the issue is. There's something about the rights relapsed or something. So there's going to be some sort of Roger Rabbit movie. I think there's a Jessica Rabbit movie in the works, which is shocking. Like, Disney wants you to forget about it. Well, nobody forgets Jessica Rabbit. I mean, do I find Jessica Rabbit to be a little overrated? Yes. But culture-wise, you don't forget Jessica. I'm surprised they're getting a movie done with her. But let's see how that goes. I don't know how they're going to do it. Is it going to be 2D? Is it going to be 3D? Like, Roger Rabbit came out almost 40 years ago. How can you make a sequel now with the way technology's been? How can you do it today? That movie was such of its time. It would be hard. Like, if you were to do it now, every studio would tell you, we're not making this. This is disgusting. It's the same thing with Cool World. You can't make movies like that today. You just can't. You cannot make movies like that anymore. I am drinking from the bottle because I just want to finish this up. Michael J. Fox. Yeah, actually, you know what? Good for him. He's back at Disney doing something. I thought he did pretty good with Disney back in the day. With, you know, because outside of, like, gotta remember, guys, outside of Atlantis, great movie. Outside of Atlantis, he was also the voice of Chance in Homeward Bound, which was another great role he did. Like, that's the one that's very underappreciated. I fucking love Homeward Bound. That's a sad movie, but it's a great movie. It's a great, motivating film. Great adventure, great story about getting home, and you're following these 2 dogs. The animal trainers are fantastic. Like, that's a great movie. Can I just say I miss that? I miss when movies did movies about animals, and all they had to do was just train the animals to do something cool. They treated them well, and then they would just dub over them. Anybody miss those days when they used to make... It's such a cheap way to make a movie. I'm surprised they don't do that anymore. Roll to El Dorado is probably safe since it's pretty much a niche film. As it should be. It should just be niche. Do not try to make it mainstream. They're gonna... Like, this is what I've noticed about movies. Once you mainstream it, they fuck it up. Because now they have to make it for everybody. They don't make it for a demographic. They make it for everybody. And when you please everybody, you please nobody. So, there's that. It did really well. It's currently the 6th highest grossing film. Yeah, we're getting a sequel. I feel like if they want to play it safe, they do the second one, they see how it does. And if it does well, then they say, okay, we should do more of these. That is the only way I'll give them a pass, if it does well and it's okay. I don't know critically how it did. I think it got some bashing for being a remake, but we'll see. I'm not like Moana, I don't care. You know, can I tell you something? I saw the trailer for Moana, I'm like, I don't care, and you want to know why? Because I've never even seen the first movie. I've never even seen the first one. I don't know, just modern Disney, I'm not interested. That's actually, okay. So when it comes to content with Disney, the fact there's so many changes, the fact there's so many questions, the fact there's so many, like, controversies with every Disney film, at this point, I think at the MPAA, when it comes to movies and old movies, that is where you do certain things where you have to, like, fix some stuff. I'm not talking about fixing the movie and changing it and upgrading it and making it, like, where it's more safe and you cut half of it out. What I'm talking about is that the MPAA should re-rate a lot of old movies to fit the modern setting. So, like, you could rate them now where they are more acceptable for the modern audience. So, like, say Kong 76, you could up that to a PG-13. You could up that to a PG-13. I'm trying to think of that, like, Hunchback. I would actually be okay if Hunchback, the original movie, was upgraded to a PG-13. I would be okay with that, actually. I'd be down for that. Updating them to PG-13. I think that's where you can make changes. You don't cut it. You don't censor it. Just change the rating. If you're afraid people are going to get offended, just change the rating to be for a more older audience. You don't have to always take these kids' movies and redo them because we have to fit the modern setting because kids don't watch these anymore. I had an interesting talk with my friend, and they made up a good argument. Because, hypothetically, if I had kids, I want to raise them on the stuff I grew up. It's like a traditional thing I want to pass on to the next generation. But my friend said something interesting because I told them like I'm upset that some parents of my generation are just showing kids the lamest content on YouTube Kids. They're just plastering the screen with shit, and they're not letting the kids use their brains enough. But then my friend said something interesting. You want them to watch the stuff you grew up with. Yes. And you don't want them to watch this dumb kid stuff. Yes. What did you grow up with, Jack? I mean, like, I grew up with Bambi, Dumbo, Pinocchio, The Land Before Time, The Never-Ending Story. They said to me, do you remember being traumatized by those movies as a child? Oh, shit. Okay. So I think the reason why my generation is not showing their kids those movies, because yes, we want to pass it on to them, but we also want to not traumatize them. That is a valid point. So they said to me, wait till they're like, 6 or 7 where they can understand this shit. How old were you when you watched The Never-Ending Story, Jack? I said I was like 5. Yeah, there's a reason why you're traumatized by that movie, scared the shit out of you. Because you watched it when it was too young for this. I'm like, yeah, you have a point. So that's what I realized. This generation has to wait a little bit for these movies. Because showing them when we were younger would have been too tense. And maybe that's why we're a little bit messed up. So that's what I realized with certain movies, is that you just have to wait a little bit. That's why I think re-rating them would be ideal. Because it allows them to find an audience that can actually handle that stuff more, because you don't see these type of movies anymore. There's my argument about that. That's a good question with all that. Let's see who else is in the chat. I've skipped out. I am so sorry. I feel like Endgame gets way too much. I mean, the battle's amazing. What can you say? Heard about that, and let's see here. Fire Emblem, don't play that. I'm interested in seeing the Zelda movie, especially with my older sister being a big fan. Yeah, I'm down for it. All right, let's just scroll down here. There's a lot of people we missed. Hey, Redland Ranger's in the chat. Good to see you, man. Where was that question you sent? Let's see here. Redland, where are you? Doing good, man. Doing really good. Squidward and Donkey and Sid the Sloth. Yeah, actually, you know what? I can see a movie. Why don't you get all 3 of them in the movie? That actually would be amazing. Get all 3 in the movie. I don't know how you can do it, but you could. Roger Rabbit. A lot of people about Roger Rabbit. Okay. Let's see here. I'm also excited to see Super Mario Galaxy. Yeah, that actually doesn't look too bad. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know. It's funny. Again, I've never fully finished the first one. I'm so behind on movies. I'm really excited to see Zootopia 2. Yeah, I never saw the first one. Oh god, if we get another Air Bud. Okay, so I only have one request if there's a remake of that. Tom Hanks is George Bailey. Why do I say that? Because Tom Hanks is the modern-day Jimmy Stewart. That's how I see Tom Hanks. He is the modern-day Jimmy Stewart. So if you're going to do a remake of a Jimmy Stewart movie, you cast Tom Hanks. Actually, you know what? Think about it. Like, Jimmy Stewart in the original, and he's like, "Oh, Clarence, I want to land." And so now go into Tom Hanks. He'd be like, "Clarence, I want to live again!" Like, can you see that? Can you see Tom Hanks as George Bailey? And I don't know. It's a Christmas movie. Get Zemeckis to direct it as long as it's not mocap. I'd be down for that. Robert Zemeckis' It's a Wonderful Life. I would actually watch that. The question is, who do you cast as Clarence? Because with I can't remember who the actor is, but for some reason you need kind of a Burgess Meredith type to play that role. You need somebody who looks like Burgess Meredith. I'm trying to think who they would get to play Clarence. Who would be a good Clarence today? I feel like it'd probably be somebody like Josh Gad or somebody like that to be Clarence, but it would have to be somebody like very gentle-natured, good guidance. Even Ian McKellen would be good as Clarence. So I don't know who they would get. It'd be very interesting if they did something with that. I would love to be curious. And then who do you get to be Potter, Mr. Potter? You gotta get somebody who's a total. You know what? Oh fuck, he's too young. I would say either Jason Isaacs or I was gonna say Tom Felton, but I would go with Jason Isaacs as Mr. Potter. Would be amazing for a remake. And there's your It's a Wonderful Life remake. There you go. Disney has really gone downhill in a few years. Moana is good. 2 was a step down. And again, I feel like the remake was a failsafe in case 2 did not do well. They probably saw how badly 2 was going and they said, oh fuck, we're screwed. Get a remake going so we have an insurance plan. Moana, the remake, is just an insurance plan in case the second one failed. Smart move, actually. You put more money, but smart move. We kind of got it with Hunchback and The Black Cauldron, is all I will say with that. Thoughts on Sharknado 7? Do not care. Never got into the franchise. So, Redland, I have to cover the first one. If I cover 2, I've always had an idea of how I want to open. I'm not going to say how. But I do have plans to talk about Hunchback 2 someday. I don't know when. Depends on when I get the first one done. But if I do, I have plans. That's gonna kill me. That movie's gonna break me. I fucking hate that movie. My rage will be intolerable. I'm just gonna say that right now. I need to do another bad movie. It's been a while. I have not watched that yet. If that happens, I will say to the bookstore, shut up and take my money. Austin Powers trilogy. Great comedy trilogy. Fantastic. Why do I like Angels in the Outfield? That's a good question. It's my favorite baseball movie. It's the first one I was really exposed to. I thoroughly enjoy that film. I think it's a really good movie. I love the cast in that: Christopher Lloyd, Danny Glover, Tony Danza, and unknowns: Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Matthew McConaughey, and Adrian Brody. People forget they're in that movie. Love that, and also it defines '90s baseball for me, much like how Space Jam defines basketball in the '90s. Angels in the Outfield defines baseball for me. Also, I just love the fact that the first game that they play, they get their asses kicked by the Blue Jays. The only time, wow, you know our team sucks when they have to make it into a movie and win, and that's works of fiction. You know that we are a terrible team when works of fiction have to make us good. That shows we suck. Yeah, the World Series, I'm sorry guys, I voted for the LA Dodgers. I'm a traitor. I made $10 out of that game. Jays stink. The Jays suck. I can't. I can't with them. I can't. It was such a rigged game. Let's see here. And it really stinks that the really hard to find. Wait, what's really hard to find on Amazon and eBay? What's really hard to find? Let me scroll. I didn't miss that. Actually, I found the book at a thrift shop. I just got lucky. Let's see here. Since your Cruella review, imagine. Yeah, you know what? I mean, that's the thing. Like, Cruella made the cut as one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I've gotten, okay, so like the webcam is new. The cameras, I'm starting to use my phone now for a lot of stuff, but I do want to upgrade my cameras fully. I want to get better quality stuff. I also have to update my editing software. What do you think of Warner Brothers Up for Sale? So who do I want to see win the bid? So there's a few people involved that are up for the bid. It's Paramount, Netflix, heard rumblings about Universal, and I heard something about a country, a certain country. I won't drop names here. Might be buying it. My bet would be on Netflix and Universal. That's who I would recommend buying it. That's who I want to see buy it, namely Universal. Here's why. It's the most common reason. They've had relations with Universal in the past. Ready Player One got made because of that collaboration. And namely their theme park business. Because if Universal buys Warner Brothers, that means they own parks. Because Warner Brothers owns all of Six Flags, the brand. So that would mean all the Six Flags parks would technically be Universal theme parks, which would mean they would have a step up with Disney. They would have a huge step up with Disney in owning like half the theme parks of America. And then, with that said, because Six Flags bought Canada's Wonderland, Six Flags is now in Canada. We have one here. It's Canada's Wonderland. Ironically, used to be owned by Paramount. So, because of that, technically, Canada's Wonderland would become Universal Canada's Wonderland, which means we could get Universal properties here. That is the reason why I would rather have Universal. The theme park industry would have a huge shift in rights. But if it's Paramount, I don't want Paramount because of certain reasons. But if Paramount does get it, that means we come full circle where Canada's Wonderland would become Paramount Canada's Wonderland again. I wouldn't mind that. But at the same time, at what cost? I don't know. I just don't trust. The ones I don't trust are Paramount and Netflix. Namely because that is feeding the Snyder cultists. That is feeding the trolls. And I want to see where DC goes. I want us to move past that. Jesus, we missed a lot of... Holy crap, we got a lot of messages. All right, no worries, man. Good to see ya. My money's on Universal since they pretty much have Warner Brothers in the rights to Harry Potter. Yeah, there's a way to do that. It's getting to the point I'm getting tired of Disney making... Yeah, I'm getting tired of it. Yeah, a lot of adults still show Coraline, their kids, their bad horror. Yeah, how come... Hey, millennial parents, how come that's okay, but not the Never-Ending Story, Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, Secret of Nim, Land Before Time? You can show them this, like Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff, but you can't. All right, because it's part of a thing that you like, and it's a kid's thing, and I don't get it because it's technically it's not Disney, but it's the same company that works with Disney, so it's got that Nightmare Before Christmas vibe. Yeah, that's not fair. That's some bullshit. That is some bullshit. Let's see here. How do you rank all the Dracula movies? So I'm still partial to the original Bela Lugosi film. Nosferatu is a classic. I think Christopher Lee is my favorite Dracula actor. I love all those movies. Anytime he was on screen, he was great. Bram Stoker's Dracula stinks. Fucking hate that and Dead and Loving It. Dead and Loving It I finally watched. Arguably Mel Brooks' worst movie. Did not care for Dead and Loving It. But Bram Stoker's a close second. Dracula Untold was boring. Van Helsing was the worst Dracula actor. That's the part that ruined the movie for me. But my favorite Dracula currently is the one that comes out in February. Dracula, A Love's Tale. That movie's amazing. Actually, I didn't mind Renfield. I thought Nicolas Cage was a perfect Dracula. I thought he was great. I want a whole adaptation of Dracula just with him. I don't want a Renfield spinoff. I want to continue. I want that Dracula as part of Universal's thing. I don't know. He would be way better. He was way better. Way better. Let's see here. Nice. Very nice. Let's see. Yeah, that I love Angels in the Outfield so much. Yeah, 30 years old next year, actually, that canceled production, believe it or not. Damn, that was 30 years ago? Oh my god. Alright, let's see here. I think we're going to make this pretty simple and sweet a stream. We're probably going to go for only an hour. I don't know. Maybe next week. Actually, I could kind of say what I want to do next week. Or the following week. I don't know. Like, start of December. I want to do, I want to go back to doing the storyline live streams again. I'm going to bring some people on board. I want to try to get some people this time and do the storyline stuff, live commentary, because those are fun. Those are fun. But I love doing the movie talk stuff. Yes, it insists upon itself, Lois. It insists upon itself. Anime I've seen recently that I've enjoyed. Not much. I've been sticking to the old stuff. My wheelhouse. I trusted Disney. Yeah, it's that, like, Disney's just sucking. I would have to clarify this. Last year, Cedar Fair and Six Flags merged. Six Flags is not owned by Warner Brothers. Their deal ended in the early 2000s, but they keep the rights together. Oh, Luke, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. I did not know that. I was not aware. I thought they owned Six Flags. So Six Flags is its own entity. They're just borrowing the rights to the Warner Brothers characters. Okay. Because I remember going to Six Flags as a kid. I remember loving the Batman ride, the roller coaster. And it was based on the Tim Burton films. I remember seeing the Batmobile. It was great. I loved the Six Flags Batman ride. That was fantastic. God, like they did, you know, like I'm gonna have to clarify. I have to look into that. So the question about Six Flags, Luke, you might know this. Are any of that stuff still around? Like, is the Batman ride still around, or have they changed it? I don't know. Like, I know there were like a ton of Batman rides and stunt shows back then. I don't know what's going on there. It's okay. I used to watch it on Boomerang on Cartoon Network. Well, yes, actually, Sammy, because Kong's what is it? The rights to 1933 go into public domain next year, or in a couple of years. In a couple of years, they're going to go into the public domain. So in about a couple of years' time, we're going to be seeing a lot of unofficial Kong remakes come out because it lapsed into public domain. I'm down for it. I am very excited for it. I want to see some new Kong movies, and I want to see it from different people, and I want to see some good stuff. I don't want to just see the basic, like, you know, that whole public domain Disney horror universe stuff. Like, I want a legitimate King Kong remake by, you know, public domain filmmakers. I think it opens the doors for new entries in the IP and doing some cool stuff with it. So I'm down for that. Have you been disappointed with Coca-Cola coming? So I don't pay attention to that. So I don't really have a gripe. I mean, this is why, honestly, I've been sticking with Pepsi a lot because they're cheaper. They're more affordable than Coke. Coke has gone up. I just stick with Pepsi because it's like $2 or $3 cheaper. Like, prime example, 2-liter bottle in Canada of Coke goes for about $5. This went for $2, so I can't complain about Pepsi. I've always been a Pepsi guy anyway. Ghibli, I haven't watched much Ghibli either lately. Man, too, that's another one. Man, we got a lot of people in the chat right now. Holy shit. I've not read many of the new comics yet. I've seen some of Smiling Friends. It's actually not too bad. I have not seen that review. I'll have to check that out. Remake of Kong, bring Kong back to New York. But yeah, like, there you go. You could change some stuff with it. That's what I'm looking forward to. Will there be a video? I'm thought about actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I have time for it, but we'll see. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's see here. Okay, so yes, Six Flags rides are still. Are they still Tim Burton, or are they upgrading it to the more comic book kind of? Like, do they still play like the fucking Danny Elfman music? So we'll see what happens there. I've been loving what South Park's been doing lately. Like, they got balls. That was what they did with Paramount was such a balls move. Like, they signed the deal. They got $4 billion or something out of it, as much as Lucas paid for Star Wars. That's the amount of money they got. Think about that. Trey Parker and Matt Stone put Paramount in a position where they paid them the same amount that Disney paid George Lucas for Lucas 10 years ago. And with that money, not only are we making you new shows that are going to flagship series, we're going to rip you and your fucking boss apart. And you know, Paramount's just taking that gun and they're just like that meme. I just fucking shot myself. They shot themselves in the foot. They fucked up. But Trey and Matt came out on top. That was such a 4D chess move. Check fucking mate. And I have always applauded Trey and Matt. Balls. Like, they've done some brave shit. They've done some cool shit. But that took balls. So kudos to them. I'm happy they're doing good with their show right now. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm gonna have to check it out sometime. That would have been funny. He actually would have been, I would imagine him being the, in the script for 96, he would have been Pete, who's sort of the Benny of the movie with Jack Driscoll. That would have been cool. Let's see here. It's really the, I mean, like, it's a good little job. I have other ways of finances on my end, making it pretty personal, but all in all, I still enjoy YouTube as a career and as a job. So that's really about it on my end. Let's see here. I'm going to answer one more question. Pepsi is the official university I go to. Nice. Do you get free Pepsi? What university is this? I should go. Also, to answer your question, the Batman being at Six Flags, they're still there and they're still going to show. Fantastic. I love that that's still a relevant thing, honestly. I'm very, very, very happy with that. Really awesome. So I think we're going to call it from here, guys. I am going to pretty much call it here for a night. We've gone for about an hour. It was just a quick little stream for you guys. I know it's a little short, but there's a lot happening right now on my end. I'm gonna make Revolution. I've got a few things planned for the holidays. I've got I gotta work. I gotta finish up February's episode, and then I gotta go right into March. But we are still 3 months ahead of schedule, and very excited. And you know, December's coming up, and we got episode 3 to promote. Episode 3. Remember, guys, just a couple things to plug in. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. December 18th. Mark your calendars. We're thinking about maybe doing either a 7 o'clock premiere or something, maybe something a little earlier. But that will be happening on December 18th, on the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens. Mark your calendars. Live on YouTube, the premiere. It's going to be great. Now, for those who want to see it early, right now, go to our Patreon, and you put in $1 or more, just $1, and you can see it right there early. It's ready to go. So that really appreciate if you guys put in for the Patreon. That really does help. Outside of that, we are backlogging 2026, and we're going to come in really damn strong. So look forward to that. That's all I got for tonight, guys. It's just a quick little stream. I'll be back tomorrow with a couple of shorts, and we'll have another exclusive clip for episode 3 on Friday. So look forward to that. I'll be putting out another clip, getting you guys excited. There's a lot to look forward to as we promote this episode. It's the last one of the year. I've got some stuff to do, but I thank everybody for coming in tonight. So until the next video, like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. Hit that hype button. There's some sort of hype button now. Click that shit. You know, support our Patreon, all that jazz. Really appreciate it, guys. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. BigJackFilms signing off, and have a good night. Have a good Wednesday. And if you guys are coming to Anime Revolution, I'll see you there Saturday. So until then, take it easy.